Hello everyone. We are having unit number 10, training and doping in sports. And today's topic which we are going to learn, that is cooling down and its importance. Cooling down is also known as an limbering down. The limbs which are being loosened after the sports competition or after the training or practice. It is very much essential after any of the sports activities. Cooling down is must. So we are going to start with the cooling down. Let's have the introduction of the cooling down. Then afterwards we are going to learn its importance. We can also write down in the benefits of cooling down. In that you can write down these points of the importance also. So limbering down is also called as in warming down, cooling down. Warming down or cooling down. It is the process of bringing back the body from the state of fatigue to the state of rest. So from state of fatigue, that is after playing, the person's body used to get exhausted. They used to get fatigue. From fatigue, then afterwards resting is must. So fatigue to the state of rest. So for proper cooling down, a player should do jogging for at least 5 to 10 minutes. It's very much essential, very much compulsory, because many times it has been seen that many of the players after doing these practices, they just go and they sit, they change their dress and they go away at their home. But here it is very much essential for the player to jog for at least 5 to 10 minutes. The body temperature is being lowered and the waste product from the muscles are being flushed out. What happens here? The body temperature, we need to bring down the body temperature so that the waste products which are being accumulated in our muscles, that are being flushed out. Thereafter the static stretching exercise should be done for 5 to 14 minutes. So jogging for how much? 5 to 10 minutes, and then afterwards 5 to 14 minutes stretching exercise must be done. You can see these are the very good exercise related to the neck, shoulder, chest, quadriceps muscle. Then we are having calf muscles, then back, hamstring muscles, then lower back and abdominal muscle. So these are the exercise which are been, these are the stretching, these are the kind of stretching which is must be performed after the 5 to 10 minutes of jogging in cooling down. Stretching exercise are more helpful in cooling down. That's why whenever a person is being involved, whenever an athlete is being involved in the cooling down process, stretching exercise is must. After a competition training session, when a body is being brought back to the relaxed and normal state, the process is being called as in limbering down. See here the meaning is being given. After a competition, the training session, after the training competition or whatever it may be, or the practice, when a body is brought back to the relaxed or normal state, the process is being called as in limbering down or cooling down. Activities should be done in the form of walking or jogging. What type of activity you are going to do? Either you jog for 5 to 10 minutes or you walk. These activities should be done after the competition without relaxing. Without relaxing, don't sit. After the competition is completed, go for the cooling down process. The metabolic process inside the body keeps on going on doing these activities, which results into removal of the waste products, continuous blood supply, decreases in the heart rate and the respiration. These are the things which are been going on when the person used to do the cooling down. The metabolic process inside the body keeps on going on by doing these activities, and through by which what will be the result? The waste product is being taken out, continuous blood supply will also be there, and decrease in the heart rate and the respiration. So the body temperature used to come down. Then next we are having cooling down, or the cool downs should involve the following important step. See, these are the important step to cool down. After the exercise, a gradual continuous decrease in the exercise, that is intensity, from hard run to easy jog to a brisk walk, should be the first step in the cooling down. So for what that you need to do? Hard run, that is you need to have a sprint first, and then afterwards easy jog, very slow jog, and then afterwards from jogging towards the walk should be done first step in the cooling down the body. Duration can vary from different people. Duration also changes from different people. but 3 to 10 minutes is been considered adequate. Stretching, especially static stretching, allows the muscle to elongate and lengthen. When you do the static stretching, for example, Tadasana, in yoga, just we are taking an example of the yoga in yoga, Tadasana. In Tadasana, when you used to stretch your hands upward, at that time the muscles used to elongate or lengthen. The strength of the length of the muscle used to get longer. This is the next step. The athlete should take cool down. Rehydration is essential part. That means that after the cooling down, you need to flush your. That means that you need to drink the water so that you can flush out the toxin from your body. Procedure and should be done either during the stretching and light intensity or after these steps. So rehydration is being done, which is being done after the cooling down process. The person must drink the water, or they must take either electrolyte powder or electrol powder, which is going to or they must take the Gatorade powder, which is been helpful in getting the vitamins and zinc in the body, and to also to flush the waste products from the body. So rehydration is must. Now let's start with the importance of limbering down or cooling down. Limbering down or cooling down. So first important is been given that restorage of the energy in the body. What does the cooling down used to do? It used to restore the energy in our body. It helps to come in the relaxed position from exercise position. It increases the supply of blood and oxygen in the body, which helps the body to get energy for the activities to be done in future, and body will be free from the stress and tension. Because you may also suffer, because lactic acid accumulation will be more during the competition or during the training or during the hard work. So this cooling down helps to have a good supply of the blood as well as oxygen to the body in the body, which is also going to be helpful in the for playing or for the next day also, and it keeps our body from stress as well as tension. Second point we are having that reduces the stiffness of the muscle. Our muscle used to get stiff. Why? Due to the lactic acid and the chemicals which accumulated in the body after the hard and the fast workout. Because when you are playing the game at that time, it is where it is been required. You used to run fast. Your workout will be more, the your intensity of the exercise or the run, it will be more. So here the lactic acid and the chemicals accumulation in the body is more in the muscles. So limbering down helps to remove these chemicals or these waste chemicals. Then third point we are having removal of the waste material. When a sports person performs the training or takes the part in the competition, the waste products such as lactic acid, uric acid, phosphate, sulfate, chloride and carbon dioxide, these are the waste products, etc., are accumulated in the body. Due to the more accumulation of these waste product of the body, the muscle cannot work efficiently. So proper cooling down reduces the accumulation of such waste products very quickly from the muscles appropriately. Clear? I hope so that this is clear. Removal of the waste material. So by cooling down, it helps us in removing all these waste material. Then fourth point we are having that it prevents from injuries. Some cooling down exercise helps to get rid of the stress and strain of the muscle. When the stress and strain of the muscle is being reduced due to this cooling down, it also helps to recover from the injuries soon. Wherever there will be injuries, either it may be a muscle pull up or there will be a soreness in the muscle, that can be recovered when the person used to have a proper cooling down or limbering down. Some exercise like hot water bath makes a good effect on the body. Some exercise along with the hot water bath, that means that you can apply the hot water cloth as well as cold water cloth. One alternate you can use that one by one, so that you can, it is one of the best remedy to prevent the injuries, which gives the good effect on the body. Next important point we are having that it prevents in faint. The most significant function of the appropriate cooling down is to reduce the chances of dizziness and fainting. Many times it happens the person used to, after the playing, doing the hard work or the high intensity workout, the person may suffer from the dizziness and fainting. As a matter of the fact, the strenuous exercise causes the blood vessels in the legs to expand, bringing more blood into the legs and the feet. When the exercise is being stopped spontaneously without taking the time to cool down or limber down, the heart rate slows abruptly and the blood can pull the lower body, the leg and feet, causing the dizziness or fainting. So due to that, the person may suffer from the dizziness and fainting. It helps us in prevention of this faint, because whenever the person has been doing the exercise, most of this you may find out that more blood into the legs and the feet will be there. When the exercise is being stopped all of a sudden without taking any of the cool down, limber down, the heart rate used to go slow. The heart rate used to slow down all of a sudden, and the blood can be pulled in the lower body fat, which causing the dizziness or fainting. Then 6th point we are having, that is normalize the body temperature. So cooling down, as we were talking previously also uh, in the starting, that the body temperature, it used to reduces the body temperature, or it normalize or regulates the body temperature. So during the high intensity and the strenuous training or competition, the body temperature increases more than 160 degree Fahrenheit. When a person is being involved in any type of strenuous type of competition, or where you may find out the hard work, at that time the heart rate increases more, as well as there will be increase in our body temperature, that is more than 160 Fahrenheit. Appropriate cooling down helps in reducing the body temperature. If you are having a good cooling down, if you are doing the proper stretching, if you are going for a light jogging for 5 to 10 minutes, and if you are doing the stretching exercise for 4 to 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes, then it has been helpful in reducing the body temperature. Then next we are having that heart rate returns to the starting stage. That means that our heart rate used to increase, the beats per minute of a normal individual is how much? 72 beats per minute. But in a good sports person, this beat used to increase more than 170, 180 in an elite athlete. So performing the cooling down after the strenuous workout or a competition, the heart rate does not return to its initial state immediately, because its heart is like a machine only. It used to, when it is being raised, it does not used to come down all of a sudden. It takes time to just cool down. You have seen any of the vehicle, for the cooling down it requires the time, because you may also find out the heat in that particular part. So performing cooling down after the strenuous workout or competition, the heart rate does not return to the initial stage immediately, but it definitely takes some time. So in fact, the heart rate must come to the initial or normal stage. However, the normalization of the heart rate depends on the physical condition. Depends upon the physical condition of an individual. It depends according to that your heart will normalize soon, or it will take a little bit of time. So the sports person and the sports activity in which he was involved, in such condition, the total duration of the cooling down should be enhanced and more static cooling down process. Here it is being told that in such condition, the total duration of the cooling down should be enhanced. So in this condition where you can not having, or you are having taking time for the normalization of the heart rate, at that time you may go for the that is static type of cooling down process. So total duration of cooling down process must be enhanced, must be increased. If you are doing the cooling down for 5 to 10 minutes, then you must increase the cooling down for 20 minutes. That is double of that. It is going to help you. And more static cooling down process, as well as static exercise must be done. More stretching must be done, which is being helpful in normalization of the heart rate, or coming down the heart rate to the normal rate or the starting stage. Then we are having next point is supply of oxygen. So cooling down also helpful during the strenuous training. There is a lack of amount of oxygen, because many of the time it happens the person used to go out of oxygen also during this competition or the training, in comparison to the resting position. So appropriate cooling down helps in supplying the blood and the oxygen to the muscles, restoring them to the position they were in before performing the training during the resting period. So you may find out that the oxygen during the resting period, they again the same type of oxygen they used to recover after the game or training also. So along this, recovery becomes faster. So here you can also find out that person is having a good recovery. So cooling down or the rest is must. Then we are having reduction of the tension. So during the training or competition, muscle remains under the tension. So proper cooling down decreases the muscle tension. They tend to relax. Along this, the mental tension is also reduced up to some extent after performing the appropriate limber or cooling down. So you can also find out that it helps us. This cooling down helps in reduction of the tension also. So proper cooling down decreases the muscular tensions and the tends to relax. Then we are having 10th point, that is reduction of the level of adrenaline. So during the warming up and the training, the level of the adrenaline in the blood is enhanced, which increases the speed of the blood flow. The blood flow speed increases. So due to that, the heart rate is also going to beat faster. So enhanced, which increases the speed of the blood flow. So proper cooling down decreases the level of adrenaline in the blood, which ultimately normalize the blood flow in the body. Clear? So these are the importance. If it is the question is being asked that write down the benefits of the cooling down or limbering down, you can write down these points. Clear? So you can prepare the notes on the basis of this. So from my side today this much. Thank you everyone.